In this video I would like to show you how to get rid of phantom peaks from the bass drum on a Roland V drum TD4K. I was just playing a straight beat and you could hear there were several phantom triggers which I didn't play. Where did they come from? I found out why this problem happened. It is caused by ESD, electrostatical discharges. You might know this when you walk on a carpet and you touch a door handle, there's a spark, you feel a little electric shock. How can this happen on a beat drum? You can imagine this is your bass drum pedal, which has a fully insulated plastic head, and on the other hand you have your pickup, which is also totally insulated. So every time the beater touches the pickup and is released, there will be a charge created on the beater as well as on the pickup. And if you repeat beating, the charge will become higher and higher until a spark will go through the pickup and trigger a note. That is the phantom peaks you have heard just now. And this is as worse as drier the air is. Especially in winter you will see that. To prove that my theory is correct, I will do a measurement now where I measure the charges on the pickup and on the beater. I have here an instrument to measure electrostatical voltages. We can measure with this probe here. I can measure the voltage on a surface. So I have here my pickup and the beater. When I start, you see the voltage is around 6 volts, nothing. Here 45 volts. I make now just one beat. It has already, we've seen it went up to more than 200 volts. I make a few more beats. We are on 800 volts. The peak was 800 volts. 1000 over. 1600. You see, it is discharging by itself slowly. That's why when you do a lot of beatings, fast notes, you will see this effect much more than when you do a slow groove. And you can see the beater is positively charged and the pickup is negative charged. This is perfect, so that the voltage between these two will be very, very high. I measured voltages up to 3000 volts, so it will around 2500 volts the discharge will happen. So what can we do against this? The easiest way is to put a material around the beater which is electrically conductive. And for this I will put some aluminium foil. This here is a possible solution. I have here an aluminium foil, which is very strong, especially strong, And I'm going to wrap this around the beater. So I cut a piece off. Okay. And I've experienced it's good to do it like this first, so it is a little bit, it will tear not so easily, because on the beater we have quite a strong force. Okay. So now I put this foil. It's a bit long now. Okay, put it like this. As I mentioned, this is one of the possible solutions. There are also sprays which you could put, anti-electrostatic sprays, but I don't know what will happen to the rubber, what will happen to the beater itself, if it will be damaged or not. So with this foil nothing can happen. So now, when this beater is touching the pickup and moving back, there will be almost no charge. I've been playing for hours and hours and I never had any phantom peaks, triggers anymore. Okay, we're going to measure the voltage now. So we do the same measurement as before with the aluminum foil. Before we start, it's 6 volts, here 9 volts. It goes up to 100 volts, here 10 volts. Zero. Remember before we went up to kilovolts, thousands of volts, so we are here 200, 2 volts. The beater is absolutely not charging itself anymore. So you see, the beater always stays at a very low level. The pickup can charge up to a few hundred volts, but that is not sufficient to get a discharge. Remember, the spark has to jump through the plastic to this rubber here and go to the pickup. It cannot do this with only a few hundred volts. And since this one is on zero, the potential between these two is only about 300-400 volts maximum. And as I mentioned before, I can play for hours and hours and have never seen any more phantom triggers. I was only able to test this phenomena on this drum set, Roland V drum TD4K. It's connected to MIDI. The sound is produced on the computer. I could imagine that this can happen on many other drum sets also, especially in winter when the air is dry. So before you buy a very expensive cables or give back your drum set, try this solution. It really helps. Thanks for watching that video.